going to chat with Lee about how she became a Christian.
Hello.
So, how long ago was it, Lee, that you became a Christian?
3 years.
Just 3 years?
Just 3 years.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Yes, I can actually. I came from a big family. It was lovely. When I'm between the ages of 0, I was adopted into this family, but from 0 up until I was about 14, it was I had a really lovely childhood. I had aunts and uncles galore. And Mum was told that she could never have children because she was type 1 diabetic and she kept having miscarriages. And but when I was 9, she had a son called David. And virtually from then onwards, things changed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was difficult because she ignored me. The rift became deeper. Really, my father was the only one that I had any sort of proper communication with. He didn't judge. He was a lovely man, actually, very intelligent man, and he sort of judged David and I equally. Whereas, as I said, Mum, he was up there and I was...
So what age were you when you left home?
When I left home, I was actually not prepared for it. I was 20 years old when I left home.
Yeah.
And I got thrown out on the street.
Right.
Mainly because at that time I'd got assaulted. And I was having a baby. Mm-hmm. And my parents said, if you have that baby, you can't stay here. The main reason being that the person who assaulted me was an African American.
Okay. Yeah.
And a black. And that didn't go down very well in our household. My mother said to me, you realise that if you have this baby, everything that you love is going to have to go. You're going to have to give up the theatre, and I can't believe that you're giving up a part in London to have a baby. And you'll have to go away from home because I certainly don't want to see you in my house with a baby. And I'm like, right, well, fair enough. And it was like, you make a decision now, go home, pack the case, and out you go. And it really came as a shock because, as I said, I'd been cosseted up until that time. I'd have everything that I wanted. We lived in a beautiful bungalow in Leamington Spa. There wasn't anything that I didn't have, really. And then all of a sudden I was down on the street with one suitcase.
So what made you start attending church?
Well, when I came into Berwick, I didn't know anybody. And I was at Abbeyfield. And one particular Sunday afternoon, one of them, people from Abbeyfield, was going to church and said, would I like to come with them? And I said, oh yes, I really would, I think. I'd like to find out what's going on in Berwick. And so with this particular person, I supported them and I went with them.
Oh, okay. So what brought you to Berwick Baptist Church?
Oh, that goes back to my lovely friend Betty. And I remember one day Betty saying to me, she said, why don't you come to my church? And I said, well, I could, I suppose. What church do you go to? And she said, oh, I go to Berwick Baptist Church. And I said, where's that? And she said, oh, it's just round the corner. You've passed it on. I said, oh, right. I said, OK then, Betty, I promise you, we'll go this Sunday. And that's what brought me here.
OK, and what happened on that Sunday?
Oh, dear. What happened? A miracle. I came in through those doors and I was immediately touched with something. There was a warmth. I couldn't explain it then. I thought, oh, okay then. this is a very warm church then, obviously, and I came in and John greeted me and I went down the front and sat with Betty. And I remember that John was going on and he was doing the sermon Romans. And I was thinking, right. And at that particular point in time stopped.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I can actually describe it to you. Is I was sitting there and then I found myself at the top of this mountain. And it was very easterly, there were goats and sheep around and everything, and I was sitting there and the weather was lovely and warm, and I was thinking, oh, this is nice, looking around. And then this figure, or this man, came and sat next to me. And he said, oh, nice view, isn't it? And I said, yeah, it is actually. It's very nice here. He said, yes, I know. He said, it's Leslie, isn't it? I went, look, she's like, how do you know my name? I went, yes, it is. He said, well, I want you to give all that hurt that you're feeling right now, I want you to give it to me. And I'm like, are you really sure that you want? And he said, yes, I do. He said, I'm here for you. And I'm like, it was like, just like that. It was just like, I couldn't get my breath, my words out. I just like, oh, my goodness. And he held my hand, and there was this emotion, like just floods and floods and floods of tears. It was like everything that was black, everything that was bad, everything that was hurt had turned itself into tears of, it was like just a flood.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a flood. I could have been on the sea. It just flooded out. And he said, Leslie, just give it to me. Don't hold back. Give all of it to me. And I'm like, you don't want me, you don't want to know me, you won't like me, you won't this, you won't that, you won't the other. And I remember him putting his arm around me and he said, I love you. I love you. And I thought, how can anyone love me? I don't even love me. Why are you saying this? Why are you saying I love you? But the word my body just became warmer and hotter, and I just felt such power, and I do now. It's just so much power. And
so would you say that is the day that you committed your life?
That was the day I became a Christian, and he said, let me into your heart. I'm here for you. I love you. Remember, I love you. Mm-hmm. And I remember going back home and I was still crying.
So how would you describe yourself before that day, before you became a Christian?
Independent. I did everything. I knew everything. I had to look after myself. Nobody else was going to do it. I was absolutely certain that, I was making all the right decisions, and I wasn't. And I was just very much sort of like, it was all I.
So how would you describe yourself now?
Oh, it's all him. It's not I anymore. It took me a little bit of time to understand, to let him in, I suppose, although he was there, because I tried buckets. But it was like, now, there's a light. And I can actually turn to the Lord and say, look, I need your advice. Mm-hmm. I need you in my life. I need you. Am I on the right path? Have I done the right things? Am I treating people the right way? because I have so much love and I just want to spin it all out, and that's how I feel. I just feel completely lit up. I suffer from an illness, yes, but which is my bipolar, as everybody knows, and I've had some very, very, very dark days. But with those dark days, I can say to Jesus, I say, look, you know, I as a person, as a human being, am not coping with this illness very well. But please, Lord, you know, be my strength, be my love, walk with me. And I know through those dark times he's been carrying me. And that's, you know, the footsteps is ideal on the sand, you know, where he carries me when I am really in a dark place. Yeah. But he's given me Bible verses, and he's talked to me, and he's with me, and, you know, and it has such a change in me.
Well, thank you for telling us about that transformation.
Oh, it's such a transformation, I tell you.